What gender is the Mangle? Five Nights at Freddy's. The genre has come a long way, hasn't it? 4 games, fan-made games, and a ton of fan art. Lots and lots of fan art. Some art I simply can't fathom. One of the things that has always plagued my mind, as well as the minds of many Five Nights at Freddy's fans, is one particular animatronic from the second game. The broken down, white and pink fox we know as the Mangle. Back and forth, people have been absolutely confused as to the gender of this animatronic. Is Mangle a boy or a girl? In this video, we're going to take a look at both sides of the equation and finally determine the Mangle's gender once and for all. The first thing we need to take a look at concerning the Mangle is the history of the character, and for that, we listen to the phone call from Night 3 of Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Hello? See, I told you wouldn't have any problems. Did, Foxy ever appear in the hallway? Probably not. I was just curious. Like I said, he was always my favorite. They tried to remake Foxy, you know? They thought the first one was too scary, so they redesigned him to be more kid-friendly and put him in Kids Cove to keep the toddlers entertained, you know. But kids these days just can't keep their hands to themselves. The staff literally had to put Foxy back together at the end of every shift. Eventually, they just stopped trying and left him as some kind of take-apart, put-back-together attraction. Now he's just a mess of parts. I think the employees refer to him as just the Mangle.
Notice that the Mangle's original name was actually Foxy. In this phone call, the phone guy clearly states the Mangle as a he. But why? Perhaps it's because of the history of the Foxy character. In the other 2 versions of Foxy, the withered version from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and the other version from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, virtually everyone will agree that the character visually appears male, with a deep crimson color fur and typical male body structure. Although I have seen a few things. Anyway, as we explore the character of the Mangle, the colors chosen for this character are that of a typical female cartoon. White coloration for the fur with pink undertones, red lipstick of all things, and bright rosy red cheeks. However, the red cheeks are a character trait of all the so-called toy versions of the animatronics. Even the puppet has those same rosy cheeks, but the gender of that character is even more ambiguous. But that's another story. Fan artists love creating artwork of these characters, even bending the genders of other characters. But as we look at the core foundations of the design of these characters, some character genders are blatantly obvious, whilst others have been rather vague. Toy Chica is clearly a female, and Toy Freddy is clearly a male, due to the typical design of what we feel are male and female characters. Toy Bonnie, sadly, has also been on the gender debate, but most fans point that Toy Bonnie is much more likely a guy, despite the fact that the word Bonnie is an old Scottish term for a rather attractive woman, but on rare occasions the word Bonnie can be used to describe a charming gentleman. In this image of Five Nights at Freddy's world up on scottgames.com, we can see the collection of animatronics that have been redesigned to what some fans call adventure animatronics. We can even see an undamaged version of the Mangle standing next to Toy Chica. Notice that Chica's design is still very much feminine, but Mangle's design is still round, like Toy Bonnie. All the more to add confusion to the gender of this poor, sweet, adorable character. The Mangle, interestingly enough, has eyelashes, which has been in cartoon history a typical feminine trait. But then again, we see Toy Bonnie with those same eyelashes. His counterpart Bonnie right next to him clearly doesn't have eyelashes. Even the first Chica some people thought was a male. So what gives? What's with the gender ambiguity in some characters? Some characters look very clearly female, some clearly male, and some halfway in between. Is Scott trolling us? Is he making us guess? Perhaps we're looking too deeply into this. Perhaps the inclusion of eyelashes and bright colors are nothing more than to make the characters cute, friendly, and adorable. In the history of Five Nights at Freddy's, there were many character designs. Some were designed to be cute and adorable. Some were designed to be horrifying. Whatever the character, I feel that Scott has done an incredible job designing these characters, and they look absolutely awesome. On the Steam community forum, Scott posts, Okay, people have been asking me about Mangle's gender for almost a year now, and I think it's time that I finally answer the burning question about whether Mangle is a boy or a girl, so that this community can finally put the matter behind them. The answer is yes. From all of the evidence and all the resources I've gathered, I can finally say that I've come to the conclusion on what Mangle is. Mangle is clearly a robot.